Hi guys, how's it going this week? So, it's been a really busy week this week, and I haven't seen you as many times as I would like to, but you know what I'm loving? Absolutely loving being out at the gate and every morning so as I can say good morning to every single one of you. And it's so nice as well to get the chance to chat to the parents. Just starts the day off really nicely. Now today's assembly, it's going to be filled with the usual stuff. We're going to have Stars of the Week. We're going to have our photo gallery, which I love sharing what we've been doing all week. We are also going to be looking at something that's really important in the school. And there's also going to be a special visitor, I believe. It might not happen, but I believe it might. So watch this space. The focus of this week's assembly is something that we have spoken about for as long as Mrs. Emmett and I have both been in the school. And that is kindness and respect. This wasn't what I was going to be doing for assembly today, but I've had to deal with one too many things this week that just makes me think that maybe, just maybe, and I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt here, okay? I think that maybe being off school for such a length of time has caused you to forget what we are all about. And the main thing that we're about in our school is treating people with kindness and respect. I don't think I have seen as much of that as I would like. So what I'm going to do, this week's assembly is all going to be about respect and kindness. But my focus for the next week, and I'm going to put my Happy Hearts chart back up because we've not had it since we've come back. So it's going back up next week. Happy Hearts chart. And the focus is going to be kindness and respect. So if I see people being kind and respectful, if I hear people being kind and respectful, and if any of the teachers come to me and say they have been really kind and respectful, then I will absolutely put your name on my Happy Hearts chart. Challenge. We have 396 children in our school. How many names do you think are going to be on the Happy Heart chart by Friday of next week? I think there's going to be, drum roll, as many as I can fit on the piece of paper. Tell your teacher, how many names do you think there will be on my Happy Heart chart next week? And you can't say lots, because I know there are going to be lots. Think of a number. And the person who has the right number or the closest number might just get something special. True story. So, kindness and respect. I'm going to talk a lot about that today. So bear with me. That will be coming up very soon. Okay. So today's assembly is all about respect, and it's all about treating each other with respect. So what am I actually going to know by the end of it? Well, I'm going to look at it, respect as in anti-bullying. So I want you to think about what bullying is and how to help yourself and others. understand the different types of bullying and the people that you can come to if someone is being bullied. Now, at Downfield, we talk a lot about kindness and respect. And these are words that we use all the time. But I just wonder how many people actually know what does respect mean. So if we were to look up the word in the dictionary, it says having due regard for someone's feelings, wishes, or rights. Not quite sure everyone would know what that means. So I'm going to pause just for a second, just to let you tell your partner next to you what you think respect is. So I'll give you about 10 seconds. Okay, I wonder if anyone came up with what I think it is. I think it's about treating people how we would want to be treated ourselves. It's about thinking about how people feel and caring about how people feel and not wanting to hurt people. Now, it's important to think of ways that we could show respect. Now, I'm not going to get you to do that right at this minute, but I would like you with your teacher after today's assembly to look at different ways that respect could be shown. Now, I'm looking for that this week, coming for the Happy Hearts chart, because I want to know anyone who has shown kindness and respect. And to do that, you need to understand what kindness and respect mean. So I want you to work that out with your teacher so that you know what you have to do to get your name on that Happy Heart chart. Now, the reason I'm tying in the respect with the bullying aspect is that this week I have spent a huge amount of time unpicking things that have happened to children in the playground, in the classroom, and people come and say, I'm being bullied. Now, I'm going to explain to you what bullying actually is. Bullying is hurting someone else on purpose. It's something that happens more than once. So it happens repeatedly. So over and over and over again. It's not the same as something that happens once. So if you're in the playground and your pal pushes you, that's not bullying. That's just your pal being not very nice and not showing you respect. It can be hurtful in lots of different ways. It doesn't have to be that someone has hurt you or kicked you or pushed you. There are lots and lots of other ways, and I'm going to explain some of these different ways just in a minute. But the key is something that happens over and over and makes you feel bad in some way. So in the previous slide, I said there is lots of different kinds of bullying, and it's not just about being hurt, somebody hitting you and you feeling pain. That's just one of them. So that's things like pushing, shoving, biting, nipping, hitting, kicking, taking somebody's belongings and deliberately breaking them. And it's easier to see physical bullying than it is to see other kinds of bullying. Now, another kind of bullying is verbal bullying. Now, verbal is all to do with the words that we say. So that's things like name calling, saying nasty things about someone, teasing, making threats. Now, a lot of times when I am trying to get to the bottom of what's happened, people say to me, I was just joking. Now, a joke is only funny if the two people find it funny. It's not funny if there's one person making fun of somebody else. So teasing people about things, making threats, these are all examples of verbal bullying. Now, this one's a bit difficult to think about. This next one, it's got a fancy name. It's called social bullying. But what that basically means is you start telling lies about people, spreading rumours about people, or leaving people out of games, or trying to embarrass people, or making somebody the the chaser in a game of freeway when you know that maybe that person isn't quite as fast as everybody else and they won't be able to catch you. These are all forms of bullying as well. Now, when I was a kid, as many of you know, I was bullied myself and my life was made misery. That was when I was at high school. By one girl in particular. And it was taking my dinner money, it was saying things about me in the corridor, it was getting people to gang up against me and not speak to me. And there were days that I would go to school and the only people who spoke to me were my teachers. So it was a really unhappy and sad time. But I'm so glad that I lived in a time, yes, I am as old as this, before mobile phones were even thought of. Because an awful lot of bullying that happens today happens on people's phones. It happens using Snapchat. It happens using TikTok. It happens using your PlayStations, your Xboxes, your tablets, your iPads, your iPhones, you name it. Whatever device you are using that has some sort of messaging thing in it, that can be used for bullying, and that is called cyberbullying. Now, when that is happening, cyberbullying, you've got that on your device. You could take that to the police and get the police to deal with it. So please be very, very careful about what you're saying. Because remember, sometimes even a text message, you could send a text message and to you, you know what you're saying. But when it reaches the other person, it'll be the same words they're reading, but it might sound totally different. So be careful. So how does bullying affect people? Well, if somebody's bullied, it can make them feel sad, scared, hurt, lonely, left out, and upset. And it can affect them in other ways as well. It can actually make people feel ill. It can stop people doing well at school. It can make people think differently about themselves. They could be thinking there's something wrong with them. It could make someone want to not come to school. Now, I don't know about you, but I do not want anybody ever to feel that way in Downfield Primary School. And I know that in Dundee City Council, people look at what we do at Downfield and think that we are brilliant because we've got a handle on bullying. However, this past week, I'm putting it down to the fact that a lot of people, in fact all of us, have been at home for the best part of half a year, and you've forgotten about maybe how to treat people with kindness and respect, and you're maybe showing some of these bullying behaviours that maybe you shouldn't be showing. So this is the chance to have a fresh start, to wipe the slate clean and move forward and treat each other with kindness and respect. So if you or someone you know is being bullied, now remember, it's something that happens repeatedly. It's not just a one shove in the playground. That's just your friend being mean, as I said. But if someone you know or if you are being bullied, if it's happening in school, tell your teacher. Tell the ladies in the playground.
tell me, tell Mrs. Emmett, and we will absolutely get to the bottom of what is happening, and we will stop it for you. If it's happening out with school, then there's not an awful lot I can do, but you've got your parents or whoever you live with, and there is also the police. So if things are happening outside in the evenings, at the weekends, that are making you feel sad or lonely or worried or scared or left out, that's for the police. Now, I know in our community you don't like phoning the police, but if you want people to stop hurting you in any way, that is what you have to do. Now, that's been quite heavy going today. A lot of things that we've spoken about, and it's not something, you know me, I like to be quite upbeat with assemblies, but it's something that really there's not cause to be upbeat about. However, this is the chance to be upbeat. So, from this point onwards, what are we going to do? Number one, we are going to treat each other with kindness and respect. Number two, we're going to look after each other. Number three, we're going to be the best that we can be. And number four, we're going to treat others the way that we would want to be treated ourselves. Because if you don't want to be left feeling sad and lonely and upset and left out, don't do it to somebody else. And if all that happens by this time next week, I just know that my Happy Hearts chat is going to be filled and my heart will be happy, almost fit to burst. So let's have a fabulous week.
So that's what respect is all about. So remember, my Happy Hearts chart will be up as of Monday. Let's see how many names we can get on the Happy Heart chart for treating people with kindness and respect. A couple of things I need to speak to you about. The first thing is the play equipment in the playground. Now, we don't have any tape to tape it off because it's so big that Mark and Danny ran out of the tape to tape it off. But I'm tired. I've been out in the playground at break times and lunch times and I'm tired saying the same things. And it goes something like, guys, off the play equipment. Guys, off the play equipment. I said off the play equipment. No, you're not allowed on the play equipment. No, sorry guys, no play equipment. I've told you already, there's no play equipment. Just get off. So that's kind of how it's going. And it's not just me, it's Mrs. Simpkins, it's Mrs. Cummings, it's all the ladies in the playground and the boys in the playground as well, because we can't forget Mr. Monroe. So please remember that until all the infection and the chance of catching COVID and everything is over, please stay off the play equipment, because we can't go behind you with a hand sanitizer cleaning all the play equipment. And I know you're going to say, but I can play on things in the park. I totally get that. I get that you can play in the park. But in schools, we are given totally different rules from our big bosses. It's not coming from myself and Mrs. Emmett. It's coming from our big bosses. So please, 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 pretty please, stay off the play equipment. Other thing I need to speak to you about is lunchtimes. Now we're still eating our lunches in the class. And I get you want to be having the usual, everything wants to return to normal. I get that. I want everything to be returned to normal because since I've come back to school, I'm not allowed to see my mum and dad as much as I was because I need to keep them safe. And that makes me really sad because I saw my mum and dad most days of the week during lockdown when we were allowed. So we all need to do things a bit differently, and that's why we are having our lunches in the classroom. Two things about lunches in the classroom. Don't be up and wandering about out your seats. The teachers usually put on a film, or I know that up in the primary 7s and the 6s, there's Mr. Bean cartoons get played. There's always something there for you to watch so that you don't have to get up and out your seats. And if you are up out your seats, if the adults tell you to sit down and stop messing about, then please, kindness and respect, please just do it. Also, when you're finished your lunch, make sure that you tidy away all your rubbish. It's not our job to put away your rubbish. So you sit still, you sit at your desk. You don't need to sit still. It's kind of, it's a bit hard to eat your lunch when you're sitting still. Imagine that. I want to eat a sandwich. Nah, you can't do it. So you don't need to sit still. But you do need to sit in your seat. So sit in your seats. Tidy up your own mess. And clean up your own mess. So clean up your table. Clean up your hands. Make sure that your learning space is ready for you to learn when you come back to class after lunch. You also wait in the classroom until the adult who's in that area takes you out into the playground. You can't just be wandering up and down the stairs or out the doors. You need to wait for an adult. Not because we're boring, not because we're just being difficult, because we want to keep you safe. Because we don't want people to have accidents on the stairs, hurting their legs, not that anyone would do that, or falling or tripping or slipping or anything. So please make sure that an adult takes you out into the play space. And also, if you were just let out into the play space, there might not be any adults there to make sure that you are safe. So it's all about keeping you safe. Capiche? Miss B's shout out. It's now time for our stars of the week. First star of the week this week goes to Cody Geeky in P3SP for trying hard in ICT. Well done, Cody. Up, we have Jude Park in P2S, and his star is for having an excellent week at school and showing kindness and respect to his peers and adults. Well done, Jude. I can tell you've been a good friend. And the next one comes from Mr. J, and it goes to Chanel Mason for showing courage in athletics. Well done, Chanel. Up to primary 7 now, and it goes to Jacob McMahon for fantastic maths work, and Miss De Silva is very impressed. Well done, Jacob. Primary 7C this time, and it goes to Fraser Dyer for working hard and seeking help when he needs it. And it's another one from Mr. Solomon. This one goes to Fern Allardyce in P3SP for an excellent effort in ICT. Well done, Fern. Miss Severite's class now, and it goes to Megan Allison for being incredibly brave, starting a new school and settling in with ease. Well done, Megan. And we have one for the other Megan in Miss Severite's class, Megan Buist, for leading the whole class in an activity. Absolutely fantastic. Well done, Megan. This one indeed makes my heart happy when I see what it's for. It's for Lucy Ritchie in P5B, always being kind, respectful and on task, and for taking risks in PE and jumping the highest hurdle. Wow, well done, Lucy. This one is from Mr. Dolan, and it goes to Daniel Jedrzejowski for having a super week, always listening and trying his hardest in lessons. Absolutely brilliant, Daniel. Well done. It's Virginal's class this time, and it goes to Arabella Duncan for maintaining a fantastic attitude towards her learning and always working hard. Well done, Arabella. P1G this time, and it goes to Andy Murray for regularly offering to help others. Andy, that is such good news. Well done. Primary 3 SP. Wow, what a number of stars there are in that class this week. This one goes to Emily Turkman for using adjectives and a comma in her writing. Emily always works hard and does her best. Well done, Emily. That's fantastic news. P3C this time, and it goes to Mer Idris for always working hard and trying her best. Well done, Mer. Back to P1 now, and it goes to Cason Boyd for trying hard and read, write, ink and applying his learning. Absolutely brilliant news, Cason. Well done. Another one for P1, and it goes to Teddy McNaughton for trying so hard during our listening games and always trying to show the listening rules in class. Well done, Teddy. Primary 5 now, and this one goes to Isaac Galloway for being very helpful and putting 100% in every task. Isaac, that makes my heart happy. Well done. Super proud of you. And the final one of the day, last but by no means least, is Orla Thompson in P2W for working hard on her listening skills all week. Wow, you must be exhausted, but that is brilliant news. Well done, Orla. So that's our stars of the week for this week. Looking forward to seeing who will be the stars next week. And remember, Happy Hearts Chart will be there as well. Well done, everyone.